Hello, everybody. It's your Abuelita, your favorite grandma on the block, and I'm gonna be making some 2025 predictions. Okay, I can't make that grandma voice. I'm so sorry. But welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I'm gonna be predicting and making my own 2025 predictions for this year. This episode is inspired by none other than Ben of the Week, who has also been making some crazy predictions, and crazily enough, they have been coming true. And I'm a huge believer that we are all the creators of our own reality. So I feel like he manifests a lot of the things that he says out loud. So I'm gonna try my best to just sort of do the same thing here. By the way, keep this in mind, y'all. This is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take it too seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. But now, without further ado, let's get straight into these predictions. My very first prediction for 2025 is that there's going to be a ceasefire deal that will be permanent, hopefully, fingers crossed, for a war around March or May of this year. I'm sensing that around the springtime, because it is a time of new beginnings, there's going to be a ceasefire. I want a ceasefire for watermelon, okay? If you guys are asking why I'm using code words, is because there are certain videos that are getting shadow banned if you talk about these things, right? But hopefully this year we can approach a ceasefire. So hopefully that happens. My next prediction is that Twitter's gonna get canceled. You know how people cancel each other on Twitter? No, Twitter's gonna cancel Twitter. People are gonna cancel Twitter. My next prediction, which is also related to social media, is that YouTube and Facebook will be the platforms that thrive this year. Because TikTok is getting banned this year, a lot of people will be forced to touch grass, and either that or people will be forced to move to other platforms. And the platforms that are going to be most popular this year, I feel like, are going to be YouTube and Facebook. Speaking of YouTube is going to be that platform that's going to bring nostalgia. It's going to be nostalgic this year. There's going to be like a lot of childhood resurfacing. A lot of our childhood content creators are coming back. It's just sort of like this big warm hug on YouTube. That's the vibe that I hope we can achieve this year. And now let's talk more seriously about, I guess, government and science. So another prediction I have is that old structures, places, systems, or anything with a weak foundation, this could be relationships, this could be friendships, or anything of that sort, they will be falling down or separating. So don't be surprised if you start seeing places that shut down, or places go bankrupt, or things that no longer serve us or that aren't important just like be removed entirely this year. So don't be surprised if you see that happening. My next prediction is that more leaders in power of the government will start stepping down. They will either be resigning or they will be fired, or there's going to be protests and riots from people where people are just going to be so tired that they have no other option but to step down. My next prediction is that there's going to be multiple government shutdowns. Yes, you heard me. There's going to be shutdowns. So do not rely too much on your government this year. I feel like the government does not give an F anymore. So, like, they're just going to do whatever they please this year. And in turn, we, the people, we're not going to give an F anymore. I started seeing that energy at the end of the year anyway. And I feel like this year they're going to start, like, taking action upon that. So, yeah, don't be surprised if the governments just start shutting down out of nowhere. My next prediction is that there's going to be a space exploration, something to do with space, like a new discovery in space, or something will be exposed or brought to light about a space shuttle or the space program, or something about space, something about the universe, or a new scientific discovery that will make an impact on how we see science, how we see life, or a cure to a disease. So a cure that we've been wanting for so long. I'm seeing like this huge discovery that's going to be made for the Earth. So, yeah. And speaking of the Earth is slowly dying because of global warming and climate change. So this year, there's going to be something that will uncover this or talk about this, and it'll be shocking to people. Like, a lot of people will be gasping and protesting because of this. Like, I feel like a lot of people are going to discover something about the earth, or scientists will bring this thing up to light, and it's not going to be a big deal at first, but then once more people start paying attention to it, they're like, oh crap, we need to do something about this. And so people will come together to fix this issue. It's like a scientific discovery that'll cause, like, I don't want to say chaos, but just sort of shock that'll push people to do something about it, if that makes sense. My next prediction is that there's going to be a lot of floods and a lot of rain. Anything to do with water, natural disasters like tsunamis, flash floods, rains, they will be very prominent this year because we are in the year of the snake. And when I think of snakes, I think of water because that is the element that they are tied to. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's like water related natural disasters or water related things that are going to happen this year. And speaking of nature, I feel like this year, apart from these water related disasters, I feel like this year will also be a good year for the soil, like the earth. So there might be an abundance of crops. Soil will be much more fertile because of the water. And any areas that have been not receiving any rain, they will be receiving rain this year. So agriculture is going to be thriving this year, I feel like. There's going to be a lot more crops and a lot more food. There's going to be an abundance of things this year. Now let's jump in a little bit into more of these other things. I don't know how to categorize it. I'll categorize it in the timestamps. But my next prediction is that technology will be booming this year. AI has been making a trending thing in these recent years, but technology will be booming and thriving this year, like always. But the thing about technology is that AI will be sort of hated this year or removed, or people will start to protest to sort of remove this AI because AI is slowly how do I say, people are going to get tired of AI eventually. I feel like it's going to start taking place this year though, where people will no longer like it because of how emotionless AI seems to be. And yeah, people are just not going to like AI this year, even though technology or the technology industries are going to be booming, ironically enough. Sort of like a paradox. My next prediction is that more people will be angry at the justice and legal systems because of how slow and how hard the legal systems take in order to solve cases or in order to provide justice. There might be a lot of protests or riots when it comes to a big case about someone innocent and the justice and the legal systems not doing something about it, or giving a wrong verdict to someone. I feel like there's going to be a riot or protest about something sort of injustice this year. And another thing that I see is that there's going to be law firms. You know those law firms that are passed on by the commercials, like I don't know if you guys have seen like law firms being put on your ads. I feel like this year some of those law firms are going to be exposed as scammers because I don't know, I just have this feeling that some of these law firms are really fake and they take money away from people and they're going to start exploiting people, and they're going to be exposed for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of like these law firms and a lot of these justice systems get exposed this year. So yeah. Now let's jump into a much more lighter, I guess, category. We're going to be focusing more on gaming this year. So my predictions for gaming. My very first one is that Bloxburg or Adopt Me is going to add more updates than ever before. And one of them is going to become the next popular game, like Dress to Impress. So a big creator or a big YouTuber or a big Twitch streamer is going to discover these games, and people will start playing them more. It's going to be one or the other. Like, I feel like Bloxburg or Adopt Me is going to be making a big update that's super cool, and then a creator is going to find out about it, and then that creator will start streaming, and then because that creator has such a big influence, people will start following that trend of like playing that game and checking out this big update. My next prediction for gaming in Roblox is that a hidden gem or a Roblox underrated content creator or game will be very famous and viral this year. So this could be a game that we have not heard of, or a game that was played by a few people, and then all of a sudden it'll start thriving and booming. My next prediction is that Roblox will be shut down more than usual. So the reason I made this prediction is because I know that these Roblox servers are super outdated. We are literally in 2025 already. Roblox needs to update their servers. And because Roblox is making constant updates every single year, the outdated servers will no longer keep up with those updates. So it'll shut down more than usual. And therefore, a lot of us are going to be forced to go outside and touch grass. I feel like these servers are going to shut down worldwide. It's not just going to be in the US, it's going to be worldwide. So be on the lookout. I would not be surprised if this happened, to be quite honest. Also, some of you need to go and touch grass and stop watching brain rot TikTok videos. Seriously, get off your phone and get off like any device that has access to the internet. Go hug a tree or something. Go touch grass, literally. My next prediction is that there's going to be a new game that'll become very popular this year, that'll bring some sort of nostalgia or some sort of reminder of our childhood. This could be like a new game that has a similar vibe to Mario or the Wii games or Mario Kart, something that has to do with nostalgia, our childhood, something that would be like, oh my god, this reminds me of XYZ, or this reminds me of this reminds me of that. There's going to be a new game that has been developed for a while now that'll bring some joy into our inner child. That'll remind us of our childhood. So I wouldn't be surprised if something, went popular this year that was like a very nostalgic, like, new game. Let's go into pop culture, or I wouldn't say pop culture, more into people culture, I guess. My very first prediction in this category is that old childhood snacks are coming back and will become more and more popular. So there's going to be like a TikTok moment where someone like discovers like a childhood food or an American snack for the first time, and then a lot of people will start following that trend of like reacting to the flavors of their childhood favorite snacks, like the crackers. I don't know if you guys have had those like Hubba Bubba candies when you guys were little. I remember when I was younger, we would have those like sour punch straws. Those were really popular back in the day. We had those Airhead candies as well, the Capri Suns, the Lunchables, right? Those childhood snacks are going to be coming back. The original childhood snacks that we have eaten when we were younger. They're going to be more viral and more popular this year. Next prediction for music specifically is that old music is going to make a comeback this year. Now, there's quite a controversial opinion on what is considered old music. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to call it classic music, like the old classics. So rock music, 50s music like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Queen, 70s and 80s songs will be listened to the most this year. Or they'll be used a lot more like in the viral shorts for YouTube or TikTok. And I also feel like 2015 and 2016 are going to be prominent years for music as well. Like a lot of 2015 and a lot of 2016 hits are going to be brought back and viral this year as well. This could also mean that new music that will be released this year will have a similar vibe to the music that I just mentioned. So yeah, that's just my prediction for that. I have another prediction, which is that a musician will make a comeback. A musician or an artist that we have not heard from in a long time will make an entrance this year as someone new. They will probably change their appearance, they'll probably change their music, and they'll start making like very viral music this year. They'll pop off, as they say. They'll slay and they'll devour. Yeah, someone will make a comeback this year, I feel like. Hopefully it's Britney Spears. Hopefully she comes back, because I really do love her music. But, you never know when it comes to these sort of things. And my final prediction for the culture is that clothing and fashion trends will be focused on nostalgia and vintage. Pastel aesthetic clothing, that's going to be more popular this year as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people started wearing vintage 50s dresses, nostalgic clothing that reminds us of our childhood. So yeah, that's my final prediction for this year. Overall, I feel like 2025 is going to be a year of nostalgia, and a lot of people will be reborn or change, and people will change physically. They will look different. Everyone is going to have a glow up. Some people may even change emotionally, and a lot of people are going to start changing their lifestyles as well, and becoming a lot more healthier, not only physically but also mentally and emotionally, because a lot of people are going to reconnect with their childhood. They're going to be more in tune with their inner child. I feel like they're going to want to, like, people that missed out on their childhood, they're going to reconnect with their childhood this year. They're going to do the things that they've always dreamed of doing when they were a kid. And also, I feel like a lot of people, they're also going to be more withdrawn and detached and more focused on their goals, their dreams, their aspirations, and themselves, without caring like what other people say or feel. Everyone's going to follow their own path this year. That's it for my predictions, really. This is your psychic grandma, the grandma from the block. Signing out. I do wish you guys a very happy new year. Let me know what you guys think of these predictions. Should I make more? Let me know down below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys haven't done so. And yeah, peace out.